Pokemon GO's most fashionable event is back, and this time, it's crazy. I'm talking new Pokemon, new shinies, a pile of poop, wearing a hat. Welcome back to Pokemon GO Fashion Week. Fashion Week 2022 will be happening Tuesday, September 27th at 10 o'clock a.m. to Monday, October 3rd at 8 o'clock p.m. local time. And in this event, we kind of have a lot going on in the wild, in eggs, and in raids. This can be a very expensive event if you want it to be. Okay, so what's going on? Well, for starters, we have a new Pokemon coming to Pokemon GO. Welcome, Marini and Toxapex to the game. Okay, so Toxapex in Pokemon GO. How will this new Pokemon be? Tox will be a dual type water and poison Pokemon, and it's gonna max out at a crazy 1,905 CP. Probably won't be that useful, but it might be good in PvP, so who knows. We'll also be seeing several new costume Pokemon coming to Pokemon GO, including Top Hat Diglett, also Top Hat Dugtrio, which I think means that you can evolve your Top Hat Diglett, which is kind of significant. Usually we cannot evolve costume Pokemon. We once had that ability and they took it away from us ages ago. But it might be coming back, we'll see. Also debuting is costume Absol, which I have no idea what the costume will be. Unless it's like wearing sunglasses or something. I don't know, I can't see it. And my favorite from this entire batch, backwards Hat Toxicroak. Okay, the reason why this thing is so cool, if you look closely, its head horn thing is like ripping through the top of the hat. It's kind of sick. And again, you might be able to evolve your Top Hat Croagunk to a Top Hat Toxicroak, although I'm not exactly sure. So if you have an old shiny, you might be able to evolve to a shiny Top Hat or backwards cap Toxicroak, which is the only way to get that shiny, is by catching the Toxicroak and then evolving it. Does that make sense? We'll also be getting some timed research that will give us encounters with Top Hat Diglett, costume Absol, and Hat Croagunk. And there's also a new shiny Furfrou. And remember that Furfrou has a ton of different forms, which means this one shiny equals like 10 different shinies, which is great. And PSA, do not forget this, Furfrou has several regional forms, basically forms that you can change to only in certain specific parts of the world. And it's just a really, really good idea to just save a couple of Furfrou and keep them in your inventory, even if they're not shiny, even if they're not 100% IVs. So if you ever make it out to those regions, you have a couple extra ones to be able to get that regional Pokemon into your inventory. When I went to France, I literally barely had enough left in my inventory to get the regional exclusives out there, so save a couple. Now, the wild spawns are interesting for a couple of reasons. And before we go over them, there's one thing about this event that I want to mention really quickly. Rarity. This event is really all costume Pokemon, which are typically some of the rarest Pokemon in the entire game, especially when they can be shiny. So usually during a costume Pokemon event, you kind of want to go a little bit extra hard to try to get the shinies because they end up being so exclusive, so rare, and a lot of the times they don't come back. But this event specifically is a little bit different due to the costumes used. But what about the spawns? What can we expect to catch during this event? Wild spawns will include Butterfree, costume Butterfree, Murkrow, Glameow, costume Croagunk, costume Blitzel, Gothita, Frillish, Furfrou, Marini, and if you're very lucky, costume Diglett, Kirlia, and costume Absol. And out of those Pokemon, which are the best ones to catch? Well, it kind of depends on your goals. Are you rare shiny hunting or are you meta-relevant hunting? Because if you're going for the rare shinies, then really anything spawning is just a good target to get. But as for meta relevancy, there isn't much to grind. Murkrow might be decent, because Shadow Honchkrow is actually a really, really good dark type, but only the Shadow version is useful. Absol has a Mega right now, so it's just always good candy to get. And Kirlia actually has two evolutions that are really, really useful and really worth getting candies for. Gallade's Shadow form is a awesome fighting type, awesome psychic type, and Gardevoir's Shadow form is a really, really good psychic type and actually the #1 fairy in Pokemon GO, and has some decent PvP play in the Masters League. And they will both Mega Evolve eventually in Pokemon GO. Also, the new Pokemon Toxapex, again, might have some play in PvP, it's just a little too early to tell. During the event, we'll also be getting AR Plus snapshot encounters, obviously most likely with more costume Pokemon, and in the raids, we can expect Tier 1 raids with costume Diglett, costume Shinx, costume Croagunk, Scraggy, and Furfrou. 3-star raids, costume Butterfree, Kirlia, Absol, and Marini. 5-star raids, Yveltal, and mega raids will be Megalopunny. And out of these raids, is there anything worth spending money on? Okay, obviously Yveltal with its new shiny is going to be just a freaking grind. I can't wait. It's a great dark type, incredible shiny. Obviously we'll do a shiny transfer challenge when it comes out, and I will be hunting it into extinction over on the Twitch channel. So if you're not following me on Twitch, link in the description, and make sure to check out the VODs channel where all the Twitch streams get re-uploaded to check out all the shiny madness. And if you want to spend money on raids, Scraggy, honestly, decent option if you're a PvPer. Its evolution Scrafty is a freaking monster in the Go Battle League. Currently ranked 8th in Great League and 10th in the Ultra League. Top Hat Shinx is really only ever available in the raids. It's a great shiny, rare shiny. Curlia is great candy, as we just explained, but it seems a bit excessive to raid for because it's in the wild. And Megalopunny is Pokemon Go's #1 fighting type Pokemon. I think it's a top one. So more energy for that really can never hurt. All right, my mother hens, what about the egg hatches? Looks like we're dipping back into the 7-kilometer eggs during this event, and inside them we will have costume Diglett, Smooch him with a bow, Top Hat Shinx, and Backwards Cap Croagunk. Only 4 Pokemon, which is the major thing that we're seeing currently during the Test Your Metal event. Since the egg pool is so tiny, you can kinda hatch to shiny hunt with these events. Kinda. Now, typically I'd never endorse hatching as a viable shiny hunting method, and I still don't, but these eggs, there's only 4 Pokemon, all of them can be shiny. They might give some decent yields on rare shiny type hatches, rare shiny Pokemon hatches. Although unfortunately, Pokemon Go has chosen to absolutely destroy the value of the special boxes, which makes mass hatching for events a lot more expensive, which kind of sucks. So just kind of a heads up on that before you go cracking. Field research for this event will actually be banging. In the field research, we'll be getting encounters with Eevee, Murkrow, Skitty, Glameow, Costume Croagunk, Costume Blitzel, Furfrou, and Marini. Out of those Pokemon, the ones you'll want to target include Eevee, just always great candies to get, tons of evolutions. Murkrow, again because Shadow Honchkrow is good, so good to stack candies up for. Hat Croagunk is just like a dummy rare shiny, so I'll be hunting that. Same thing with Costume Blitzel, super rare shiny. Furfrou, brand new shiny. Again, it has regional forms and a bunch of different kind of Furfrou you can get, so definitely a great target. And if you need it or want it, Marini, new Pokemon, if it's good in PvP, it would definitely be a good hunt then. And as always, there will be special avatar items to purchase. Oh, and what about the costume Pokemon during this event? Are they something super rare and exclusive that you need to hunt for? Should you go all out during the event? To answer this, it's important to know what makes certain costume Pokemon the rarest in the game versus others less rare. There's really 2 major kinds of costume Pokemon in Pokemon Go: exclusive and seasonal. Seasonal costume Pokemon are the ones that we see every single year, usually during specific events. Santa Hat Pikachu, Party Hat Charmander, Top Hat Croagunk, all great examples. They're shinies that we see released and then brought back year after year during their select events. Then you have Pokemon like the rarest shiny in the world, Fragment Hat Pikachu, and these exclusive costume Pokemon are way more rare because they really only come out once and then never come back again. Sunglasses Squirtle, great example of this. It's only ever dropped twice in game. So what are the costume Pokemon during this event considered as? Seasonal or exclusive? Definitely more seasonal. Way more seasonal. The only new costumes that we're getting during this event are Diglett and Absol, but they're really simple costumes that I'm sure we'll see brought back in the future during maybe next year's Fashion Week event. Just kind of like Top Hat Croagunk, the costume Blitzel, Top Hat Curlia. We've seen these released plenty of times during past Fashion Week events and other events even, and we will probably definitely see them again in the future. So personally, I wouldn't say to worry too much about really grinding the costume Pokemon during this event. The shinies are definitely rare, and if you get them, they are definitely a flex. But they've been around before, we'll probably see them again in the future. Nothing to really stress about. Oh, and one last thing. Real quick, we've got a special trade with Gilly. Metagross for a freaking shiny Terrakion. Kind of a good trade. God, you know Terrakion has a Mega? Fact check me in the comments. It's
Not gonna be lucky.
2,700 on the dot?
No.
L. And that's the trade and the video. Hope you enjoyed. If you're excited for the next event, make sure to check out the other videos on screen because they're just as exciting, right, Gilly? See you guys in the next video.